Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. It's yet another day. We want to thank the Lord for the gift of life. Yes, we don't take Him for granted. We have to learn to give gratitude to the Creator for the gift of life. So today I'm here with yet another topic that is very important and informative enough for us who have borrowed and also people who are planning to borrow. Yes, so let's hop in. But before I start my discussion, please like the video if you find the information informative. If the content I create is helping you out, you can share as well. You can subscribe to follow me and also tap on the bell so that whenever I post a new video, you're alerted and you can view, and we walk together in this journey. So let's hop into it. Excuse me. When looking to borrow, it's important to understand that while debt can help you achieve short-term or long-term goals quickly, your debt payments will reduce the amount of money available for investing and also affect your other financial goals. So you need to have that in mind, that as much as I'm planning to borrow, this is going to affect my investing and my other financial goals because of the payments I'm going to be taking off my income on a monthly basis to clear this loan that I'm planning to borrow. So what are the things am I or are you supposed to consider as you plan to get into debt or to borrow? Number one, remember to borrow only when you need to, and borrow only as much as you need to. If you need to borrow $5,000, you have a project, maybe you want to set up a business or you want to boost your business, you want maybe to purchase land, and assuming that land costs you maybe $10,000, borrow exactly that amount. Do not go beyond that because they've given you the opportunity to access the loan. So you're like, let me go ahead and get 15,000, and you're getting extra 5,000, and yet your project is for 5,000. You should borrow only the amount you require at that particular time. So it's not a must that all the time you should just borrow. Maybe you want to go shopping, you borrow. You want to do this, you borrow. No, have something tangible enough that you know this thing will bring me back income so that I can boost or grow myself financially. Don't borrow just to spend on luxury. You understand, yeah? So the point is, borrow only when you have to, and borrow as much as you need to. That's it. Don't go excess. Number two, shop around for lowest interest rates. Before you go into a loan agreement with an institution, banks are everywhere. Financial institutions are scattered everywhere. Go and window shop the different rates and settle for the lowest. Don't just go because someone told you, oh, this bank gives a loan, let's go and you borrow from them. The way they handle their clients is good. Yes, you may handle me well, but when your interest rate is skyrocketing, you get, yeah. So shop for the lowest interest rate. Interest rate is key. And when you're shopping for the interest rate, you also need to know, is this rate a fixed rate, or is it a fluctuating rate? You get? What do I mean by a fixed rate? A fixed rate is a rate whereby I borrow at 5% and I'll pay my loan to the end at 5%, meaning it's not going to increase or reduce. Now, fluctuating, I may borrow at 5%, in the next 3 months it can go to 8, meaning my installment will also be adjusted as per the rate changes. So you need to consider those as well. Shop for the lowest interest rate, but also know what type of rate am I going into. Is it a fixed rate or a fluctuating rate? Is it on a reducing balance or on a lump sum amount? Yeah, so consider all those things. Number 3, understand the loan contract before signing it. I get it. Most of us, when we go to the bank and we want to borrow, remember, you're already desperate. We borrow at times when we have financial problems. Maybe they are demanding you fees for the kids, they are demanding you rent, and you have nowhere to go. So you reach the bank, and as soon as they've you've met the prerequisites for the loan application, you just tell the loan officer, please show me where to sign. Then you append your signature without taking time to read through the loan contract. And then after getting into the loan contract, 6 months down the road, the money is over, and then you start complaining. Why is this happening? Why is my installment going up? Because you didn't read the contract. You signed maybe a contract whereby the interest rate is fluctuating, and now you're asking, why is my installment going up? No, you did not read. So we need to stop this habit of show me where to sign. However desperate you are financially, take a day, ask the loan officer to make you a copy of that loan contract, go home, read through. If you need interpretation, call someone who is well versed, who understands these contracts, and they explain to you before you append your signature on that contract. That will help you a lot. Yes. Now, number 4, this is our last point. Be sure you understand what interest you're going to pay and factor any additional fees or interest into your monthly debt payments. Yeah? You need to be sure and understand what interest you're going to pay. This is almost related to our second point when shopping for the interest rate. So what type of interest are you getting into? Is it a fixed rate or is it a fluctuating rate? And then if it's a fixed rate, factor in that interest in your monthly payments and know exactly how much am I going to pay. You know, ignorance is a disease. And because we don't want to read, especially my brothers and sisters in Africa, we don't like to read. We don't have a reading culture. So there is someone who even say that if you want to hide something from an African, put it in the book. So we end up signing contracts that we don't know, interest rates that we are not sure of. Yes, they've told you the rate is 8%, but is it a fixed rate or is it a fluctuating rate? You need to be in the know of this rate before appending your signature, my brother, my sister. It will help you in the long run. Yeah, so I just want to recap the 4 points to consider. Number 1, borrow only when you need to and exact amount you need. Do not go and borrow something more than what you need at that particular time. Number 2, shop for the lowest interest rate rather. Shop for the lowest interest rate. Then understand your loan contract before signing it. Number 4, be sure that you understand what interest rate you're going to pay and factor any other additional or less fees on the interest. Rather, factor in additional fees or interest that into your monthly payment. So you need to understand your interest rate. If there are any additional fees, factor in all those. Get the additional fees plus the interest rate and factor into your monthly repayment. so that you know exactly what you're letting go every month to cater for the loan. Yes? So as I conclude, please remember, debt can be expensive over time. Yeah? So your best financial strategy is usually to pay it off as quickly as possible. The faster you pay off the principal amount you borrowed, the less interest you'll pay. What do I mean by this? If I borrowed a loan for 5 years, yeah, and then I let it run until the 60th month as in the final installment, I am going to pay a lot of interest. But if something happened and I got money, then I cleared this loan within 2 years, I'm going to pay less interest. One, because I've settled the loan earlier than the agreed time. Yeah. Then finally, if you miss a payment, your interest rate could go up and you could damage your credit rating. Making smart financial decisions will help build your credit rating, which will help you in the long run. I hope this is important, my dear viewers. Let's put this in action, especially if you're planning into borrowing. Consider these points. They are really important because people have gotten into debt and right now they are just crying and struggling financially because they dug their own financial graves because of ignorance and signing contracts that they are not familiar with the terms. Okay, thank you for today. Please remember to like this video, share, subscribe, hit on the bell. Bye for now. See you next time.